Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for clicking on the video. This is David Pendleton, and now we're going to be covering the back 9 holes of the final round for the Get Set, Go tournament. I hope you had a good front 9. I hope you're able to be in contention to try to win the tournament. As you can see here, I did get myself up to the #1 spot, but I think we all know that's not going to hold. We're going to have some people hit -28s through -30s, but hopefully, we'll keep a top 10 at this score. All right, so let's go ahead and go into it. Hole #1, just a little bit of headwind here, but we're really not going to change our approach on the drive. We're going to keep with that 4.5 top, 1 bar a side spin to the left. I'm going to put it at the +2 yard mark with the red ring right there on the rough line. And with this wind angle, it is easier to push your rings instead of pull. Here, I'm using a little bit of curl to the left, to where half my ball is inside that adjustment window. That'll set us up nicely for shot number 2. Shot number 2, we're going to play 0% at mid. We're going to take note of the backspin here. We're using about 4.7 bars of backspin, and we're putting our blue ring right there on the fringe line. You'll notice here I've got my ball guideline fully in the hole, but it's on the right side of the cup. And then we adjust for the wind. We do hit a perfect ball. And this one we just missed by a fraction to the left-hand side. Only thing I would really do differently here, if I were you, is you noticed I had the ball guideline completely inside the right-hand side of the cup for the offset. I would go ahead and move this over a little bit to the right, maybe putting just a little bit of my ball guideline inside the cup and the rest of it outside the cup. That's how I would offset hole #1 to try to pick up the eagle. Hole #2, I really don't have a lot for you. This hole isn't the easiest one to play. I'm just taking it for that safe birdie. 2.5 top, 1 bar of side spin to the right. You can see pretty much the same setup as the front 9, to where I've got my full white ring inside the rough on the left-hand side there. Half a ball of curl. We hit a perfect ball. But like I said, really nothing to see here, as we're just playing this one for a safe birdie. That will take us on to hole #3, though. Hole #3, we are very, very close to the Albatross this time, and just a little minor tweak, and I feel like you're going to be able to pick this one up. We are going to go with the katana. You'll take a note of the spin adjustment here. 4.5 top with 3 bars of side spin to the left. And we're going to put our yellow ring right on the rough line just like that, and make sure that second bounces nicely on the fairway. We will go ahead and pull here 10% at maximum distance of our club. Perfect ball, and we come in very nicely, setting us up for our Goliath Albatross opportunity. This one we play 0% at mid distance. 0% at mid, same setup that we've been using. We're going to go with a little bit of top spin here. You're going to notice that I changed this to about 0.3 top. Ball guideline going through the cup just like that. Very, very slight offset to the left-hand side of the cup. Not a whole lot, but it is there, just a little bit. Here we make our pull. And look at that. We just leave it right there. So, you know what little tweaks to make. Take a look at where I aimed. All right, all we need to do here is probably just move our target over to the left a little bit, right? Same setup, just move it over to the left a little bit to compensate for the way that ball is bumping out of the rough. Hole #4, the shot you are seeing me play is played at 70%. So the replay is at 70. Take note of the backspin, and then we're going to zoom in here so that you can nicely see the landing position. If you take a look at this landing position, you'll notice that I am playing in the same row of the hole. But I'm playing one green square below it. I'm looking at that last bounce to be in the corner of that dark green square. Hopefully, as I'm talking, you can get a good visual of what I'm saying. Again, I pulled this one 70%. You'll notice on the graphic, I suggested that you do 80, and you'll see why. Because even at 70%, we miss this one to the right-hand side. We need about 0.2 or 0.3 more ring adjustment there. And that 80% would get us to that mark. Here, hole number 5, we do pick up an eagle on both of my accounts, which is nice. We do take advantage of the tailwind. The game was very nice to give us tailwind on the opening and, on the front 9 and the back 9. Here, we're just going to go with the top spin, a little bit of left side spin. I do not push up to max. I take a little bit of a controlled overpower shot, half a ball of overpower with about, a little bit of left curl there. You can see how much left curl that I used. All we're trying to do is just shoot this thing right up the fairway like we did here. And that'll set us up nicely for shot number 2. Again, this is the wedge that I prefer to use on this hole. And also with the drive, just kind of take note, the higher on the drive here that you can get, so without going into the sand, of course, but up in this zone is where we would rather be. You do get a better ball guide line. If you stop, somewhere around here, you're going to get a really wonky ball guide line. If you do, you still go with the full top spin approach. I would adjust for rings if you end up anywhere in this zone, okay? I would adjust it 20% at mid, but if you get up here like I did, you'll be able to just take a set landing shot. Full top, pretty easy. We're just going to tuck this thing right here on the left-hand side of the hole. We're going to let the wind do all the work for us. Perfect ball. And as you can see, we come in dead center, dropping hole number 5 for the eagle. Hole number 6, we were super close to picking up an albatross. I really like this shot. I think you're going to be able to get it. 3 bars of side spin to the left, 4.5 bars of top spin. We're going to put our yellow ring right there on the rough line. We'll make our wind adjustment. Take note, we're not using any curl on this drive at all. We just want to land on the fairway here. Being at the top part of these shadows is good position for shot number 2. So this one, I want you to play 5% at minimum distance of our club. Now you'll be able to see here, once we apply our backspin, it's going to be the backspin first. 4 bars of backspin is what I started off with, but I do change it. And this one's going to be anywhere between 3.5 and 4 bars of back. We are getting some tailwind here, so we do want to let that guide us into the hole. Look at my blue ring at the rough. That's what I want you to try to copy. And I want you to try to copy that landing position there too, with a slight offset to the right-hand side of the hole. Very slight. You notice I moved it. Very slight offset. 5% at absolute minimum distance. Perfect ball. And it's like, come on, some of these shots were just right there, wanting to go in, but they don't. Now, keep in mind, for you playing with extra mile 8s and 9s, don't push this drive any harder. We want to stay in sniper range. If you get too many yards on the drive, you could end up getting in long iron range. So that 4.5 top on the drive is clutch. Hole number 7, again, another hole I don't have a whole lot for you. This one's just kind of been a pain. We do play with the navigator. Finally get the right ball. You'll see here I go 3 top. I go with about 0.7 left. I'm sorry, 3 top, 1 full left. I guess I changed it. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Here's my aim point, though. Maybe you can dial it in. There's my aim point. Here's my ring pull. Perfect ball. Probably the closest that we've been all tournament on my walkthroughs, but still would have some work to do to get that one to drop. This will take us to hole number 8. Hole number 8, shot 1 is 10% at max. Shot 2 is 0% at mid. Now, the reason I'm using a Kingmaker here in crosswind is really 2 reasons. One, I know that I'm in contention to be able to try to get, a top 10 spot. Hopefully it'll hold up for a top 5, but I doubt it. So Kingmaker is going to help reduce the wind on shot number 2, making the drop easier. Also, when we're getting wind blowing from right to left on this hole, the drive becomes more difficult, and shot 2 has headwind involved on it. So you have to keep that in mind. We'll be fighting against headwind on the second shot. 4.5 top, 3 bars of side spin to the right, tucking our yellow ring right there into the corner of that fairway bump. Half a ball of curl to the right, perfect shot. And we land on the fairway, leaving us for shot number 2. Shot number 2, again, like I said, 0% at mid. Your backspin is going to vary by a little bit, but the most important thing is that we're going to be using that fringe to bounce on. Like I said, you see the headwind that we are getting. So, of course, using the Kingmaker is going to reduce the wind, giving us a little bit of an advantage here. Anytime you can reduce the wind for your shots for albatrosses, hole-in-ones, or extra eagles is the best route to go. Perfect ball. Bounce off the fringe, and then roll, bounce, or whatever very nicely into the cup for an eagle. Did pick that eagle up on both of my accounts, so that shot was playing very consistent, 0% at mid when you go 2 for 2. Hole number 9, you know the drill. We are going to blast this one up. Now, if you're sitting here playing with lower level clubs or you don't have berserkers, you can do this shot, okay, like I did on the front 9. So if you don't have a berserker or you don't have the club power, I want you to lay up, and then I want you to play the big dog shot. Now, when it comes to the big dog shot, I want you to go 4.5 top, 2.5 right. Typically, on this wind angle, we don't want to go a full right spin on shot number 2. We want to take the exact same shot that I did on the front 9 with your big dog, but I want you to reduce it to 2.5 side spin to the right, okay? That's what I would try to do, but I just wanted to give you that heads up. Here we're going to go full top, full right. Again, we're just blasting this thing as far up the fairway as we can. And then I'm going to take shot number 2 with the Amazon. Hey, I hope I did a great job for you. Please subscribe. Please hit the thumbs up. If you would like to tip me like you would your favorite bartender or server, you can absolutely do so. I'd be very grateful. The link to my PayPal is in the comments section below. Anything helps replenish my practice balls and tokens. And then secondly, if you'd like to become a member to the channel, you can check that out in the description too. 10% pull at max, push back up to max. I'm using overpower till the bottom of my ball touches the bottom of the adjustment zone. There we go. We hit the fairway. Thank you. Stop right there, and we are putting in for eagle on hole number 9. Hole number 9 is just killing opponents, so pick up that eagle there to try to gain an extra shot. That is it, everybody. Thanks for watching. I will see you for pro tomorrow.